Okay, we've got our funnel. We want to find the center line. Because it's an even number, the line's going to be on the center. We're going to choose the block to the right of the center line, and we're going to start building a rail above that step. This is going to mark the wall of our grinder. Now we want to find the intersecting center line, and we also want to start on the side that has more blocks of water underneath it. For instance, this side is larger. This will be the side that we start our pad. We're going to start a plus shape on the left side of that center line. It's going to be 3 by 3. And then this plus shape, let's just say it's like a little man laying on his back and his head's resting on the rail. We're going to take a step and put it right on his face. Right there's some stairs. Now we're going to start filling in underneath, which is going to be the floor of our lowest spawning pad. Now we want to go 8 out from this block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to want to do the same on the other side. Fill in underneath, go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we want to start 1 block in for the next row, and we're going to stop 1 block short of the other end, like so. And then repeat this pattern until you've made a half diamond. So you should have a shape like this. Okay, now we're going to add a layer to our back wall. We're going to start at the stairs. We're going to build 4 past the spawning pad on this side. And on the other side, we're going to do the same thing, only we're going to go 3 past the spawning pad. Because we're offset to the left of that one side. So that should even things up between the funnel. So we're 3 away from the inner edge. And on this side, we're 4 past the pad, and we're 3 away from the inner edge. Now, since this is the bottom layer, we don't need a drain hole in this one. So we're going to go ahead and add just 1 more row of blocks. And now this will determine where our next pad floor is. Where the step is the same height as where the spawning pad's going to be on this side. And that's just a good starting line. Now we make another plus shape. This guy's head goes right there. And so the step is over his shoulder there. It's offset by 1 block. Then he'll get... So see, the water's going to spill over this way. That's why when we add the next layer, we need to leave a gap right here. Okay, now we just repeat the same pattern, and we go 8 away from the shape, make our diamond, and now things should begin to look like this. And the water's going to spill down these stairs. The water will treat these stairs as a solid block, but things will not spawn on top of it because the hole will actually be 2 blocks high. And you just repeat this until you get 10 levels, 5 spawning pads on each side. Then when you get to the top the next morning, this last layer is where you place your piston. So you don't need to place stairs on top of this guy's face. That can be a regular block. We add a temporary block right here, and then a piston facing into the wall. Right like that. Get rid of that temporary block. Okay, for now, we're going to add a block, and we're going to put a lever on it just to hold the piston out so we can test the system. This will be timer controlled later. Okay, now we're going to build our water chamber on top. Solid blocks, because the piston doesn't really block any light, neither does water, so our chamber should be solid blocks and not steps or slabs or anything. Put the water right above the piston right there. And now we can run a test and see how our flushing device works. It should spill over from side to side all the way down. And it's coming in there, and now it's going on the other side, and the water essentially spirals down between all the pads all the way to the bottom floor. Now is a good time to get rid of the edges of our so-called rail that we started with and make it look a little more nice. Now, the timing on this, I'm going to have to discuss in the next video because it's kind of detailed. So for now, we'll just use the lever to shut it off and continue building the roof. You might have noticed I actually had to make an edit a minute ago because I forgot to punch out one of the drain holes, and that's why we test the system. The roof's actually going to be the same level as this open block right here. So we need to encase the piston because it lets light in, and that should be encased with solid blocks. And this spawn pad, each spawn pad's 3 blocks high from the floor. So we start our roof 3 blocks from the floor. And I use slabs for this because, you know, in survival it's twice as efficient. You're breaking each block in half, and nothing can spawn on top, so you don't have to add light. So it's kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. Definitely worth it. And build this out 3 or 4 blocks past the edge of your wall, and at least as wide as the funnel or a block overhanging to get the light level on the top floor down low enough for things to spawn inside of there. And we're going to have to fill this side of the wall in 2 layers high with solid blocks, and also we're going to have to fill in the opposite side just the same. So let's get this top wall evened up all the way across. And now that's going to determine the height of our final roof, which just simply starts on top of the top of our wall. And of course we have to build that out the same as the other side and overhang the funnel by a block or so. And there is the spawner in a nutshell. And things are already spawning in there, and some things are accidentally falling over the edge without being flushed, so it's already working and it's not even completed yet. So in the next video, I'll go over the hopper timer system and how that clock works and all the magic behind that.